To get started with your adjustments practice, the first thing we have to do is set up a document. So create a new document in Photoshop, and we want our dimensions to be 7 by 7 inches. Make sure this drop-down menu is set to inches and not pixels. Resolution should be 150 pixels per inch, and then create your document. This is going to produce a perfect square that'll show up in the middle of your workspace. So what we're going to do is we are going to make our rulers visible by pressing Command R. And at the top and the left side of your screen, you should see 2 rulers appear. If your rulers have a large number in them, like this, if you open it up and you see that it's going up to the thousands, this means that the unit of measurement is in pixels. And to fix that, all you have to do is right-click on the ruler and change it to inches. Okay, that's better. That's way easier for us to understand. Now, we're going to put some guides on our document. Guides are like you're laying a ruler on a piece of paper, and it's going to help align all the elements of your composition. We're going to make a grid, so let's start with our vertical guides. To make vertical lines down the document, we're going to click inside the left ruler, and we're going to drag over. You'll see a guide is pulling out of the ruler. We're going to line it up with the 1/2 inch mark at the top of your screen. You'll see the number shows up in your workspace next to where my cursor is, and you can also just try to roughly measure looking at this notch on the top. I'm going to do the same thing, click on the left ruler and drag at the same time. Drag, drag, drag until it lines up with 6.5. And you can see that's 6.501. That's as close as we can get. That's perfectly fine. We're also going to put lines going horizontally across the document. So go up to the top ruler, click and drag, and line this up with 1/2 inch on the left side. Just get it as close to 0.5 as you can. Same thing one more time and drag it down to 6.5 inches. By doing this, we're creating 1/2 inch around the whole outside. We have a nice clean border, so when you're done editing your pictures, you'll just have some white space left over. If it's not close enough and you have to move your guide, you can just zoom in closer, and with your move tool, you can adjust it and get it a little bit more exact. The last thing that we're going to do with our guides is divide this in half, going both horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to click inside this ruler and drag it down to 3.5 on the left side. That perfectly snapped to the grid. And then we're going to pull from the left side and line it up with 3.5 at the top. Again, it snapped right to the grid that I already have. All right, and now we're going to crop our pictures and drop them in to each of these 4 quadrants. To open our images, we're going to click on File, Open. And I have all of mine downloaded, so I click on my Downloads folder on the left side, and I'm going to open up my first image. This is going to open in a new tab at the top of your screen. The document that you just made is still there. It's just in the first tab. All right, we're going to click on our Crop tool, 5th tool down in your toolbar. Change ratio to width, height, and resolution. And you need to type these settings in. 3 in, make sure it says inches or it's going to be in pixels. In the second box, we're also going to put 3 in. Resolution, we're going to keep at 150. And then you can slide the preview around and crop this to where it needs to be. To crop, you can double click on it, or a little check mark appears in your options bar. You can click on that as well. With your image cropped, you can tell it cropped because it looks much smaller in our workspace. To move it over to the other document, we're going to use the same shortcuts we used on our first project. Command A to select all, Command C to copy, click on the other document, and press Command V to paste. Remember, when you're not moving your crop tool, click on your move tool, click out of the crop tool. It's easy to accidentally crop your whole project. We don't want to do that, so just click on the move tool to keep things neutral. All right, once this is cropped, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to repeat this for my other 3 images, and then I'm ready for the adjustment step.